Hi everyone, Mason Whitfield again with Sci Friday with Mason on the last Friday of February 2024. And I think today I'm going to talk a little bit about something I nickname lakes and snakes. You know, it's one of the real miracles of upstate New York folklore. The number of water bodies, inland water bodies, that have legends, like the Loch Ness Monster. I mean, the Loch Ness Monster is very famous in the world. Almost none of New York's lake snakes are famous anywhere outside the state, anywhere outside small neighborhoods. But yet, there is so much supernatural folklore about these inland water bodies. Every one of the Finger Lakes is reported to have a lake monster. Lake Erie, Lake Ontario, even some of the rivers and creeks are thought to have a lake monster. And it's always kind of serpent-like. It's dragon-like too. I mean, dragons and snakes, they mean generally the same thing to the collective unconscious. But you got to be asking yourself, what does this mean that native people have all these legends about large serpentine monsters in their water bodies? What does it mean when white people see them sometimes? And if you're looking for me to give you the direct, complete, thorough, and 100% accurate explanation on that, you've come to the wrong place. I do not know what these things mean. I do not claim to. But what I often think with supernatural folklore and supernatural experience, when masses of people see related things in similar places, I start to think that this is some message from the collective unconscious. But I've got two quick theories on the presence of these lake snakes. One of them comes from Hindu tradition and mythology. You know, the Vedas, the great epics of the Indian culture, that is in India, they have echelons of deities. And they have one form of a deity, they often call it a Naga, which is kind of a serpent-like earth force. You know, they're not necessarily evil at all, but they're strong. And they're associated with telluric forces, with earth and water. And they're contrasts to the forces of the sky and the light. And because they're so prominently reported in one world mythology, it almost makes you think maybe they represent something to the human, the deep unconscious. The other aspect I'm going to mention is from the psychology of one of my favorite scholars of all time, Dr. Carl Jung. He was Freud's student who went on to form his own theories, particularly of the collective unconscious. And I'm a Jungian. I really think, you know, believing any scholar hook, line, and sinker is one thing, but thinking that they're really onto something, that's another. Jung was brilliant, and he had this theory of something he called the psychoid archetype. I may talk about this in more depth one of these days soon, but the idea behind the psychoid archetype is that if enough people think hard enough about the same thing, every once in a while something answering to it is going to get up and start walking around, and people will see it. It may not materially be there, but people will see something. So I think I'll ring off on Sci Friday with Mason with that little piece about lakes and snakes. Come back and see us in March. We're going to keep doing these.